So when we're talking about the field of Israel education, and in particular the field of Israel education in the Jewish community, we know that we're teaching more than information. What we're interested in doing is building a knowledgeable connection, but also an emotional connection between the learner and what's being taught. And when we're talking about emotions, and then we're talking about Israel, we know that for our learners and for Israel itself, Israel is emotionally complex. And when things are emotionally complex, it means that people have different opinions. And sometimes their opinions are based on information, and sometimes their opinions are based on their gut feelings. And when we have these different opinions, we need to be able to talk about them. When we talk about different opinions, together with emotions, we tend to get disagreements and arguments. So working that way back, we need to be able to argue in order to be able to learn and teach about Israel. So when we are teaching about Israel and we're engaging with Israel in its disagreements, it's kind of easy. We've only got three massive challenges. Challenge number one is, of course, Israel is divided. Israel is an ongoing argument or series of arguments between the religious and the secular and the liberal and the non-liberal and the Arab and the Jewish and the Palestinian and the Israeli and rich and poor and periphery and central. Massive disagreements within Israeli society, within the subject that we're talking about. At the same time, our learners and the communities in which they live are divided about what does it mean to support Israel? Should we be supporting Israel? Where does critique come in? What about the status of women? What about the status of Reform Jewry within Israel? Again, endless divisions. So we have the challenge that Israel is divided. We have the challenge that the learners and the community of learners is divided. And the third challenge is that disagreements and arguments are more and more difficult. There seems to be more and more of a price to be paid, a social price to be paid for disagreeing. On the one hand, I'm worried about whether I might get judged for something that I have to say. On the other hand, it might be that something that I have to say is going to spark off an argument. I might put my relationships in danger. It tends to be that we, in order to have a healthy conversation, or what feels like a comfortable conversation, the more comfortable we're trying to make things, the less we touch on issues of disagreement. And so every conversation tends to be thin, a thinner area of common ground, which is getting thinner and thinner. And what we need to do is dig into the depths of our disagreements in order to have meaningful conversations. God, I was convinced by that.